Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Ramble. Today we're going to be covering Project Rebalance Part 1, the skilling portion of it. So I am very excited to be covering These are like the updates I most look forward to throughout the year. And Project Rebalance has just got me all excited. So I'm excited to discuss this. There's a lot to cover. It's going to be a super beefy ramble, as you guys can already probably tell. And there will be, the plan is to read through this blog, share some of my thoughts as we go along, and then toward the end, I'm going to be covering some of the Twitter topics and the things that we didn't really touch on. And yeah, there's just so much to talk about. I want to hear all of your guys' thoughts down in the comments below as well. Be sure to drop a like on the video if you enjoyed as well, and be sure to subscribe. Now, let's just get straight into it. So, welcome to the first of several bumper blogs about Project Rebalance. In December last year, we announced Project Rebalance, a massive game jam project which will flesh out progression for both skills and gear throughout your old school adventure. Since this is such a huge project, you can look forward to several blogs on this topic, including all the details about NPC defense adjustments, gear changes, and more. We plan to release further blogs in April to coincide with the hands-on betas. Today, though, we're looking at some smaller, simpler tweaks to skilling content. All right, the first big portion, agility. Agility, love it or hate it, is one of the most impactful skills in old school. It offers access to a huge variety of shortcuts across Gielinor and, more importantly, increases the speed at which your run energy regenerates. Despite this, it's not exactly a fun skill to train. We think you can all relate to the feeling of dread as you level up and see how many laps there are to go until your next milestone. On top of that, some of those shortcuts aren't so useful after all. And that boost in run energy is a bit too subtle for most players to see the benefits. Our changes to agility are simple. We're tweaking the numbers to better position different activities and unlocks while identifying prime candidates for shortcuts that make training the skill worthwhile. We don't plan to significantly adjust the skill's progression or the speed at which you gain levels. Got all that? Then let's get going. All right, agility courses. Agility courses are your primary training method from 1 to 99. Unfortunately, it's not uncommon to unlock a new course. Check the wiki and see that it's not really worth your time. These changes are all about making agility courses relevant again, giving you a nice change of scenery and a real feeling of progression in the skill. Okay, so I did look over this earlier. I'm not going to just like read verbatim exactly what this says, but for those listening, and by the way, all these rambles are on Spotify, so go down in the description, go follow it on Spotify, everybody. Okay, so what they're changing right off the bat is they're making the Draenor Village rooftop course actually level 1, and that does make a lot of sense. I mean, it is weird that like the first course you can do is all the way across the map at the gnome stronghold, and that's like the only fucking thing you can do. So what they flip-flopped it. They've made it so gnome stronghold agility course is now level 10 requirement. Now, they're going to state why in a second, but I honestly feel like both courses could be a level 1 requirement. Both of them can be. That's just my personal opinion. I understand they're trying to make it progress slightly, but like real talk, they could both be level 1s. That's not the end of the world. In fact, they could even make Shazian basic course level 1. Like there is nobody, I'm going to tell you this right now. Like nobody is going to do Shazian basic course if it's level 5. You're not going to go run 5 laps of Draenor Village, level up to level 5, and then, okay, I'm going to go do Shazian course for 5 fucking levels. Like, come on. These could all be level 1, honestly. And then the next thing could be, level 20, I guess, right off the bat. Because then you have like 3 options right off. That's just my personal opinion. Now, agility pyramid. So basically, on the other side is like all the proposed XP is getting slightly increased as you level up. And that is Jagex's main priority here, is just making it so every time you level up to a new course, you're actually getting an actual benefit. Like you're actually going to get increased XP per hour, which is so essential. And I think that's super important. Now, one of the things... Husky made a post on Reddit. Well, somebody made a post on Reddit, and Husky commented because people were complaining that the Sears Village course down here is actually getting a reduction in XP per hour. And, a lot of people are butthurt, like, why are you reducing the course I love? Like, why are you reducing the XP? But what he did is he made it very clear that what they're trying to do is actually add progression in the skill. So right now, you're training from level 60 to 80. sometimes level 60 to like 90 basically at Sears course, and that just feels wrong because as soon as you get the diary and you're able to teleport and stuff, it's just you're just stuck there basically, and it's just so worth it. Now most people don't go beyond 80 because then you're not getting as many marks of grace, but like, you know, you're doing that for 20 straight levels, and I think what they want to do is just make it so every single time you get a new unlock, it's actually going to be worth your time moving to a new course. So I think that's fine. I think it's appropriate. They're also making a change to Artie, so that's getting increased by like 7.7k XP an hour, which is pretty nice. And they're also going to be talking about the Barbarian Agility course in a second. So that is the thing I'm really looking forward to. I think there's so much potential there. I've shared like a ramble, I don't even know, like a year and a half ago about that. And it's just a place that can really be pretty fun. Like, you'd actually do agility with friends. It doesn't feel like a typical rooftop course where you're just clicking the next obstacle. It really feels like there's some engagement and there's time to chill and you can chat with people and stuff. I just think it'll be great. So yeah, those are the biggest things I've noticed, and there's not much other change other than that. Them just really trying to focus on having level progression actually worthwhile. These changes will smooth out XP rates between courses, give rooftop courses steadier progression, and reward those of you who've kept up with your achievement diaries with even better rates. Boosted diary rates also let us improve some of the high-level courses like Paul Nivnich and Relica, where we currently see players giving up on the grind. Eagle-eyed readers will also note that this proposal includes swapping the requirements for the Draenor Village rooftop course and the Gnome Stronghold agility course. The Gnome Stronghold may be an iconic agility location, but newer players aren't even really sure how to get there. And experienced players get their early game agility levels from quests like Tourist Trap. This way, newer players have the opportunity to learn about agility basically from the start of the game instead of having to travel across half of Gielinor. We know you love those little green guys, so we're open to leaving the Gnome Stronghold course requirements alone, but no matter what, we'll be making the Draenor rooftop course available right out of the gate. Also of note is the addition of Strength XP to the Barbarian Outpost course, in line with the rest of Otto's Barbarian training. Okay. Oh yeah, by the way, that is pretty cool. Like, they're actually adding Strength XP to the Barbarian course. So for a tiny little bit, you'll be getting some Strength XP if you want to do that course. So we'll see. Yeah, I like it though. It's cool. There are 2 more changes we'd like to roll out across all primary agility courses. Add Marks of Grace to all regular agility courses, including Penguin, Barbarian, Shazian, Apatol, Wilderness, and Werewolf courses. That grace gets around. Remove various points of failure towards the end of agility courses. We shan't name names, but it's Canifis. Canifis is the problem here. But they said they shan't name names. Okay, so listen, this might be a hot take. You guys let me know down in the comments. Can we just entirely get rid of failing courses? Like, I mean it. I know that sounds like, oh my god, like what the fuck? Like, what no failing? Like, huh? Like, that's just surely you're crazy. Like, surely that's not the old school spirit. Real talk. Nobody likes fucking failing courses. It's complete RNG. It's fucking bullshit, and it's just annoying as hell. So can we just get a community consensus around this? Like, is it really appropriate to fail agility courses? Like, seriously, when you have the level requirement, you should never fail. The only reason you should fail is if you're wearing like too heavy of gear or something. But I swear to God, like, that is so like ancient. It's so like, it's so stupid. Like, it literally does nothing. It just pisses off the players. It literally does nothing except for like increases the XP in the worst way possible. Like, the higher level you are, like, okay, now you can't fail randomly. Like, you're getting better XP, but god damn it, like, failing sucks. Trust me, I haven't failed in like a long ass time because I've been level 99 forever, but I still remember the pain and the agony of failing a fucking course like Sears and Artie for the first several levels. Like, Jesus Christ, it's horrible. Can we am I going crazy here? Like, is that appropriate? I feel like that's fully appropriate to entirely remove failing of agility courses. Just get rid of it. That's a thing of the past. Get rid of it entirely. No more. Ever. In fact, what I said about the weight thing, I don't even care about that. Just get rid of it. There should not be a way to fail an agility course. It's fucking stupid. That's my hot take. Just shoot me down in the comments. I want to hear it. Brimhaven Agility Arena. This next course is so special, it deserves its own category. The Brimhaven Agility Arena has it all. Rope swings, lava pits, falling rocks, parrots, dart traps, and a fiendish timer that keeps even the most agile adventurer sweating. Plus, it's turning 20 this year, which has us all feeling a little, geez, oh, that's bad. Despite all this cool stuff, the Brimhaven Agility Arena is looking a little deserted these days. Our changes aim to retain its identity while improving its overall appeal. Make Brimhaven Agility Arena more suitable for its target audience of players with 40 plus agility, up to some reasonable drop-off points where other methods pull ahead. Make up for the lack of marks of grace with competitive XP rates for the level range, suitable for a high-intensity skilling method. Add some polish and reduce frustrations. The current ticket system heavily punishes failure and doesn't feel all that great when interacting with the arena at the lower level of its intended level range. Encourage people to play on the same world to add a social element to the skill. So I feel like with Brimhaven, the most appropriate way to go, and this is me just spitballing right now, so just, again, leave it down in the comments if you disagree, but I feel like the obstacles that you can successfully maneuver when you have a level requirement, you should never be able to fail that ever again. And the ones that you haven't actually met the requirement for, you should be able to attempt, and that has the fail chance. You know what I mean? Because there's like I think there's like a level 70 obstacle or something there. And I think it's like the dart thing or the fucking axe swinging thing. Like, you should be able to chance yourself for it. You know what I mean? Like, that would be a way better way to fail. And the ones that you can already do because you have the level requirement, those should be a guaranteed success. Let me know down in the comments, because honestly, when you're just failing shit based on pure RNG, it's so stupid. So if you're a lower level, you can chance yourself with a potential fail if you're going for the higher level obstacles that you don't actually have a level for yet, but you know, everything else you should be able to pass. And keep it so level 99, they're not going to touch this, but at level 99, you never fail, even crossing the bad planks. So that's really cool. I like that. Okay, so make up for the lacks of mark of grace with competitive XP rates, add some polish and reduce frustrations. The current ticket system heavily punishes failure and doesn't feel at all that great when interacting with the arena at a lower level of its intended level range. Yep. Encourage people to play on the same world to add the social element to the skill. Yeah, that would be great. I want to see how you're going to encourage that, but that's really important for sure. Those are the broad changes. Now let's see the specifics. If you like the last list, you're going to love this one. Update various traps to feel more responsive and smooth. Yes. That is so great. Also, like, just on that point, make it so, yeah, like, you've already nailed the nail on the head or whatever I'm trying to say. But like, make it really smooth. Make it so like the obstacles are even quicker than normal, and make it like one of the best things, honestly, is like when you've passed an obstacle and like there's still that like animation delay, but you're actually able to move. Like, there's something oddly satisfying about that. Let me know, like, any agreeers with that. Like, you know, when you're like past an obstacle and your true tile is actually zooming ahead, but your dude like just looks like he just passed the obstacle still, and you just fucking zip right through. Like, that's great. I love that. I love that feeling. It's great. So maybe do something like that. Adjust fail rates so that the agility arena is better suited to its intended level range. Give players a flat XP when handing tickets into Jackie the Fruit, instead of an XP rate that scales with agility level. Give players XP when they obtain tickets, scaling with agility level every 10 levels. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Players currently do not get XP for obtaining tickets, so this would be totally new behavior. I think it's totally appropriate. Every X tickets obtained, players receive a Brimhaven store voucher, name to be decided, which can be exchanged for any of the non-XP rewards from Pirate Jackie the Fruit stores. The Pirate Jackie the Fruit store. This means that players no longer have to choose between XP and the other rewards on offer. Graceful recolors for all. That's great. Yeah, that really sucks for the people that are like, well, no, I take it back. It's really, there's not many rewards. You could add more rewards there, though, if that's going to be the case now. I was going to say, that sucks for everybody that like just cashed in their tickets for XP and just fucking lost all. But yeah, again, like I said, there's not many rewards. Add amylase to Pirate Jack. Okay, now, yeah, that's really bad. Because now they're adding a lot of stuff. So rip to my boy NC State. Okay, a more engaging way to stock up on the stamina pots. Remove the red ticket system, meaning you'll always get a ticket for the first pillar. To prevent world hop metas, logging out or hopping worlds will now place players outside the arena. Okay. On a Brimhaven agility themed world, the first player to touch a pillar will get an extra chunk of XP and a little hyping up in game. This will improve on the social element of a skill and make the whole thing just a little more fun. I think that's great. We plan to start with just one world and see how popular the arena becomes before adding more. Potentially add sub arrows after you touch your main arrow pillar. This would allow players who wanted to put the extra effort to squeeze in a little more XP out of the activity. Sub arrows. Oh, okay. So like when you've touched the main arrow, you're not just honest. Okay, I'll be completely honest. I don't know how this is gonna feel, obviously, when it's in game, but I actually think it's okay to just keep the basic activity of having a main pillar and then just waiting around. The main reason is because it's just so much easier to, well, first of all, balance XP rates entirely. It's just so much easier. And then on top of that, you do have kind of like a little meeting area where you can just chill and chat. You don't feel like this is kind of the nice thing about Brimhaven. You can squeeze in a little bit more XP, just going across traps like repeatedly, and that should still be a thing. But I kind of like it that people can just kind of group up, chill out, chat for a little bit, and then run to the next one. And there will always be that luck element. That's kind of the cool thing. Like when it's who's going to be the first person to touch like a new dispenser. You can have players still spreading out if they wanted to and just get lucky. And honestly, you know what I actually think would be even cooler is if there is a chance for a back-to-back. This is just personal. I just think like having a back-to-back pillar, like where it's on the same like area would actually be okay. It's just, I don't know. I think that's kind of funny because then the people that are spreading out actually get fucked over just occasionally. I think that's fun, especially in mass worlds. Anyway, I'm just kind of saying shit right now, so I'll move on. So what do you think about all that extra XP? Unlock a few more shortcuts, of course. Or what do you do with all that extra XP? Yeah. Agility shortcuts. Okay. Warning, there's another list on the way. Our proposals for shortcuts fall into 3 categories. Removing achievement diary requirements, adjusting level requirements, and adding high-value shortcuts to the game. Okay, how high of level? That's the real question. Let's see. These changes should ensure that skill progression feels good, that shortcuts are more relevant for their level bracket, and that players are more motivated to train agility overall. Ready for that list? Let's see the specifics. Okay, so there's a ton of different courses they're removing from the achievement diaries. This is great, in my personal opinion, just making it so achievement diaries have nothing to do. Like, if you're agile enough, you should be able to cross this shit. You shouldn't have to, like, be like, oh my God, well, I'm just people love me in this part of the land. Like, now I get to cross it. Like, come on, that's just silly. So this is great. We'll adjust the following shortcuts as followed. So there's some more. So Draenor, narrow tunnel moved south and sped up. So everything should be sped up. Shiloh Village stepping stone required lowered from 77 to 32. Okay, this is just across the board. I'm going to yell this multiple times probably. Is literally make shortcuts actually worth it every time. Like, just across the board. Like, if there's a shortcut that's not worth it, and there's literally a shortcut there for some sort of reason, just make it fast. Like, there's just make it zip. Make it literally zip. I'm going to literally just go right now in game. I'm just going to fucking show you what I mean by zip. This climbing rocks is the exact example of what I want. Watch this. My dude insta hops. And he insta moves too. You see that? Like, that was a fucking, that is a shortcut. That is a fucking shortcut. That feels good. I didn't need to see some stupid animation of my guy like doing a little like this is the exact antithesis of what I mean by a shortcut. This like move, come on, start moving, and then there's the fucking delay. Like, what is that? Like, that is so bad. So make all like shortcuts like this, like that. That's fucking awesome. Great. This was added like 20 years ago too. Fucking, that is the Gower brothers right there. There's fucking 5,000 IQ right there. So add more things like this and make it just across the board. Just make us zip. Make us goddamn zip. There should be a point to these shortcuts. So that's just, my personal opinion, but let me know if I'm going crazy or not, as always, in the comments. Finally, we'll add the following new shortcuts. Fossil. Wait. I needed to say something. Mount Karul Mysterious Pipe. Why is it called that? Okay. Anyway, so stop. Don't know. I already know what you're going to do here. Sped up considerably. That's not considerably enough. I literally already know what they mean by considerably. They're going to have the black screen for only like fucking 12 seconds instead of 30 seconds, what it is right now. Like, this is obnoxious. This should literally be instantaneous. Like, you should go in there within a matter of 3 ticks. You should be across the other side. I'm not even kidding right now. Like, come on. Literally anybody that disagrees with that, like, you're just wrong. Like, you're objectively wrong to think that it's okay to have a black screen for over 20 seconds and then speeding up to maybe 10 seconds. Just get rid of the fucking black screen. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. And the same thing with the Wyvern shortcut. Why is there a fucking black screen that's just sitting there? Like, it's so stupid. It is so stupid. It's actually just stupid. I'm sorry. I'm getting like angry now, but it literally pisses me off to no end. It is the worst game design that could possibly ever be designed. I kid you not. It is the worst thing ever. So just entirely get rid of it. Just across the board, like, whatever the level is to access those, just make it fucking instant. Please. Please. Just do that. Am I wrong? Down in the comments. Like, I know I'm freaking out right now, but like, seriously, this is like my one time to just yell this. It's so stupid. And never do it again either. The fact that the Wyvern shortcuts was added like years after this thing, and you still decided to go with a black screen, like, it's just like so delusional. And just so delusional. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid. It's not a shortcut. It's just a stupid cut. Anyway, so finally we'll add the following new shortcuts. Fossil Island, zipline from the house on the hill is small. Ooh, okay. That is beast. Please don't make it like a 30-second zipline with a black screen or something. Just make it like instantaneous. That would be amazing. Just make us literally zip through it. Like, just boom, we're there. Just instantaneous. That would be amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. Also, make it, and I already said this earlier, make it so all shortcuts cannot be failed. It's just so stupid if you can fail shortcuts. That includes that, like, log in East Arty. You guys know what I mean? The one where you can, like, legit take damage. I think Settled mentioned it on one of his videos. Just, like, the fact that that's, like, a dangerous thing. He could lose his, whatever that mode is called, nightmare mode status, like, instantaneously, just, like, trying to cross a log even though you have a level. Just get rid of that. I'm sorry. My personal opinions. While we're not sure what exactly the shortcut might look like, we plan to position it at the entry door of the Thrown Axe special areas. Okay, so listen to this. Apparently people are still against, like, having a DK's telly for potentially reasonable reasons. That's totally fine, but I just want to show you something real quick. So up on Waterbirth Island, like Waterbirth Isle, whatever it's called. Where is this place? Where is this place? It's not Lunar Isle. Wait, is it Lunar Isle? Wait, where is this place? Oh, here it is. Okay, so Waterbirth Dungeon goes down here, and you like run all the way over here, throw the little thrown axes, and then you're here at the ladder. So what would be really cool is to have a rope attachment right here for a shortcut, like a high-level shortcut right here, where you teleport to Waterbirth Isle or Island or Waterbirth. What is this place? Waterbirth Isle? Island? I don't even know. Waterbirth Island. Okay, there we go. I'm saying it right now. So the rope could be an attachment here, or even like some rocks or something. You climb up, and then you're instantly in here, and then you're instantly right here. So if people are still against until the end of time a DK's telly for whatever reason, at least add like a shortcut right there, so then we don't have at least this beginning like entrance thing to go. So then you're immediately right here. You don't have to bring a thrown axe. You don't have to bring a rock. That sounds great. What do you guys think? Is that crazy? Am I going crazy by thinking like we could have that? Plus, there's a master clue step up here, which would be kind of nice. So let me know what you guys think. And there are so many places where you could add shortcuts. I mean, somebody mentioned, I think in one of the Twitter replies to the old school tweet, like a Dragon's Eye thing where you enter into the VLD. First of all, nobody's doing Dragon's Eye anymore because now we can drop clues for an hour. So like anybody that's not juggling clues, it's just you're doing clues wrong now at this point. But literally across the board, we should just have legitimate shortcuts that just speed up the obnoxious, ridiculous clue steps and speed them up significantly with a high enough agility level. That's the worst part about doing clues. There's no fun in running for 3 minutes and just doing all this bullshit just to get one piece of a clue. Yeah. Yeah. Please. Thieving. Have you ever slipped, fallen, and accidentally stolen from a hard-working knight of Artie? Ever done that thousands of times? Don't worry, this is a safe space. We all love a bit of crime around here. Whoa. Our thieving changes are largely about rebalancing failure rates, XP drops, and stall respawn timers. In turn, this should give players more options when deciding where to train this sneaky skill. Pickpocketing. The following pickpocketable NPCs are receiving changes. Okay, so Yanil Watchmen, Paladins, Gnomes, Heroes, and Tizars are getting all updated. And Jesus, I didn't actually know Heroes were that good, like already. Almost 200k XP an hour. There was also a tweet, I believe, from Yoda's Yoda talking about, just... He brought up a great point of, like... And here, let's just see what they're doing. So they're increasing the XP rates pretty drastically across the board. And I think it's honestly all fine. I think they've balanced it pretty well. Like thieving, like they're right now, like as of right now, if they were to update this, nobody would still thieve these guys because they're just like, they're not dropping you anything. They're not giving you anything. So if they give some sort of unique or they give some sort of cool thing to go there for, I think that's like the best way to go about it, is like have very minimal loot and then have some cool unique. And clues could be that unique or, anything else that has some sort of value to it. I just think that's really appropriate. Also, so Yoda mentioned, like, what if across the board we highly, reduced the amount of failures that you can experience, and we made it so, like, just across the board, like XP rates are drastically reduced, but you're failing way less or something that like feels better to be thieving. It just you're not spamming there and just failing repeatedly over and over and over. That's one way to go about it. I think there's other ways as well. I think one of the suggestions is literally I'm not going to say what the solution is exactly. I have a few thoughts, but I'm not going to go into it right now because there's a lot to cover on it, and it's too much to talk about. But seriously, across the board, we could really come up with something that's better than what we currently have with thieving. It's just, I think pickpocketing, if pickpocketing is 100% success rate, that's one thing. That's actually nice. That feels great. That's fine. Spam clicking something and just repeatedly getting something. That feels awesome. As soon as there's any failure, it's just annoying. And so we could have an honest discussion about like what we could do with thieving and just either seriously across the board reduce XP rates drastically so that, the XP rates would still remain the same, but the like amount of XP per pickpocket would be drastically reduced. So almost everywhere, maybe just everywhere at a certain level, you're just never failing. Like at 99, it's just like, I'm just imagining a world where you just never fail ever. And, you can choose to pickpocket whatever you want with a 99 cape, you're just never failing anymore. But the XP rates are the XP drops, I should say, are drastically reduced. So, the XP rates per hour are still kind of remain in the healthy range. And I just feel like that could be a great route to go down. Or, you could even add some sort of like enhanced dodgy necklace that's charged with something. I know just the word charge is going to trigger some listeners. But seriously, like I'm just imagining Iron Men that really want like enhanced crystal teleport seeds, or they want their blood shards, and and that's what they really care about. What if there was a way to charge like a dodgy necklace with like an onyx, or just it could be literally charged with anything. I'm not going to start listing things and people are going to freak out, but some sort of charging system where you're putting in a good amount of either resources or GP or something into the dodgy necklace that's making it super successful. So now it's like a 90% success rate all of a sudden attached. So it's like you're never failing, but bots and stuff won't be using these because you'll actually be losing money over time. But it's like money, or it's a resource that's not as valuable, and because the blood shards are obviously just way more valuable to a lot of like iron players and anybody else that's wanting like a blood shard. So you have a system of, spending money to get better XP rates. And again, this would have a lot to do with XP balancing, because now if you're just constantly successfully pickpocketing, what are you going to do with the XP rate? So this is just like a big mess of stuff to discuss. But ultimately, I think right now pickpocketing is like in the shittiest spot ever. It's just so unbearable to do. It's so bad. Like Vyres and Elves being the worst of them. Like it's just so fucking dreadful pickpocketing them. They're so dreadful. It's the worst. It's the worst thing ever. So seriously, we got to find some sort of solution to it. And I would not be against just getting rid of failing entirely somehow. I think that's honestly the best course of action, but let me know. Yeah, this is like a whole nother ramble to talk about, honestly. Just too much to talk about in this section. So stalls, outside of early levels and odd pet grinds, stalls have too long a respawn time to be worth engaging with, even when targeting a specific resource. These changes aim to breathe new life into Guild Wars marketplaces and are aimed to more casual players. We bet the stall holders can't wait. Okay, so current respawn times, looks like they're drastically being reduced. Dude, I'll be fully honest with you. Okay, this might be, again, hot take, and let me know, because I could be speaking out of turn here, and maybe there's like some serious balancing issues with this. But like, what if all stalls actually respawn at a reasonable rate so you could kind of just spam them? Like, you know, and then the XP rates are obviously appropriate, and because stalls, like, what if stalls were a way to get a consistent GP from thieving? Like, I'm just imagining actually making stall thieving actually worth it. So I'm looking down here with the gems. Like right now it takes 180 ticks for the gem stall to respawn. And they're just proposing it be 100. Why not just propose it to be like fucking five ticks or something, just like 4 ticks, just like instantaneous. So you just repeatedly thieve this thing. The XP rates would be way reduced. Like this would not be the training method to do it, but if you wanted gems, here's a fun way to get gems that's not just shop hopping, because right now there's like the gem store and the Tazar place where you just hop worlds a billion times, buy as many gems as you want with Taco. Like, what if there was a legitimate way to get low XP but high gems per hour, and it's just you chilling out. You can chill with the boys, you know, because you can all thieve at the same time. You don't have to do this world hop simulator solo by yourself. Fucking dreadful nightmare fuel. Fucking just the worst training ever. You know what I mean? Like, does anyone agree with that? Like, just across the board, making it so stalls can just be spammed. Like, every single stall can be spammed. Like, seriously? Like, is that the worst thing ever? We're living in 2024 scape where you have content that's shitting out like 10, 20 mil an hour. Like, it's just, I don't feel like it's the end of the world to have these stalls that would have low XP rates per hour, giving valuable resources that you actually need and desire. Like an ore stall that just is continually giving you an ore every 3 or 4 ticks or however fast you can spam it. Because obviously your inventory is going to fill up. Maybe you have a coal bag or something to fill it up. The gems would be great. Scimitars, you know, you just get occasional scimitar. Like, I literally don't think this is that crazy. Now, of course, there's going to be some low level problems with this. So you have to have a high enough sort of, you know, level to, you know, I think like the level requirements could be higher or something like that. But honestly, like as soon as you get to a high enough thieving level, regardless on a low level account, you're making bank. You just are. There's so many places you can make bank. So if that's the problem, the low level, you know, rebalancing of the game, I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Is it totally inappropriate to just have stalls be able to be spammed? You know, anyway, that's all I'll say on that. So our intention here isn't for stalls to surpass pickpocketing in terms of XP per hour, but to provide attractive alternatives for low intensity skillers and those hoping to stock up on particular resources. That is exactly what it should be. And that, I don't think that's going against making these things spammable. Seriously, like it would be so cool to be able to go to a specific stall for a specific resource you need and spam the living fuck out of it for low XP per hour. Honestly, like, is that, like, I know these are drastic changes. It's not like the old school feel, but I'm just trying to breathe life into these just complete dead, like literally with this update that they're proposing, nobody's going to be doing these stalls unless you're like a fucking chunk man or some weird shit. Like seriously, we could really talk about having imagine a gem stall actually is, it still wouldn't be worth it because the XP rates would be so low. So depending on what your definition of quote unquote worth is, Again, saying the word worth, it just means nothing unless you actually say what you're going for. Are you going for 200 mil all? Are you going for full collection? Like, what is the worth? Nothing's worth it ultimately if you think about it. So I just think being able to spam things of a resource you want and need for low XP is just cool. Like, that's a cool, almost like perk to thieving. Like, you want to train thieving like off the bat with the highest XP per hour you can get. Then as soon as you hit a certain level, like, oh, hey, I can go repeatedly thieve gems and I need them for this piece of content or something. Like, I just think that's great. I don't know. Let me know. Yeah, so, and again, the XP rates would be extremely low. They're not going to be what they are just every 3 ticks, just spamming these things. So, yeah, anyway. I just think the world hopping is just obnoxious. And the fact that you could thieve with the boys, you know, just right there, just spamming these stalls together, like, I just think that's great. So, all right. We'd really like to hear your feedback on these numbers, how rewarding you would like this criminal activity to be. I think it should be, I really do think these should be generous. I think it should be generous. The XP rate should be low for stalls, but the actual stuff you should get is generous, my opinion. Slayer is an old school classic, but newer players are often confused by its popularity. After all, the early levels can be a real grind. Beginner Slayer relies on lots of out-of-game research. The tasks you encounter are sluggish and slow, and unless you've been boosting your points somehow, you don't have a surplus available to skip the less exciting assignments you receive. Our proposals aim to improve the early game Slayer experience by removing the more egregious Slayer tasks. We'd also like to help newer Slayers stock up on Slayer points by reducing the kills in early tasks, which should in turn smooth out the transition into the fun bits of the skill. On that note, we want to bring the thrill of obtaining special drop into early game Slayer by adding a small number of uniques, which will provide limited utility against other low-level tasks. Okay, so they're changing the Slayer task list entirely from, or not, well, it looks like entirely, but a lot of the crappy monsters are being removed. So yeah, that's totally appropriate. I think again, I haven't been in this like level range for so long. So if there's somebody that knows more about this and you have a problem with it, let me know down in the comments. I'll read it and we can discuss. So great. The remaining tasks now better reflect the stats we expect low-level Slayer players to have, and keeps them doing level-appropriate content throughout the grind. In addition, the above 3 Slayer Masters have had both the minimum and maximum quantity reduced for most of their remaining tasks. This means that lower-level players will complete tasks faster and unlock their block slots nice and early in a more organic way than the current tutorial boosting meta. Slayer monster changes. We've also made a couple of changes to some underutilized Slayer monsters you might encounter early in your monster hunting careers. Killer Watts. Range defense reduced from 20 to -10. New chance to drop grounding bolts, which are equivalent to mithril bolts but deal 30% bonus damage against electrical creatures. Category which only includes Killer Watts for now. These changes intend to make Killer Watts a much faster task and less of a guaranteed skip for players, while giving players the satisfaction of having the right tools for the job. Cool. Okay, yeah, that's awesome. It would even be cool if these bolts had like on top of like a 30% bonus damage, just make it have like a I don't know, like a 1 in 10 chance to just deal like double damage or something. Like seriously, like just make it be really fun. Make it just randomly hit like just a massive number. I don't know how much HP these things have, but like it should just be cool. It would almost be cool if it was just like this 1 in 20 shot or something of just one-shotting it guaranteed, you know, just like something fun. It's not broken at all. It's only affecting these electrical creatures, which is literally only Killer Watts. Like, it'd be kind of fun to just be able to use these and feel great about it, not just good. Fever spiders. Again, totally spitballing right now, so you don't need to. If there's a problem with that, just let me know. We're actually giving them a loot table. What the hell are fever spiders? Revolutionary. We know these creepy crawlies won't become gold mines overnight, but we hope to have them drop something, especially considering that you require specialist equipment and a quest to unlock them in the first place. Cave bugs. New chance to drop the bug basher, a new degradable weapon that breaks after 1,000 uses, has a 3-tick attack rate and a minimum of 5 against bugs. Ooh. This relies on us actually defining bugs as a class of NPCs. We could roll this out to spiders and Nilokis. If it's got more legs than charisma, it just might make the cut. I'm struggling now. There's a survey question on this exact topic. So if you know a bug that needs a good bashing, let us know. Interesting. Yeah, that's a really interesting sort of mechanic. So is it just always a guaranteed minimum of 5 or something? I almost feel like if you have, like, if they were to release something like this and it works, like, let's just say at Nilocus, where like the melee crabs are guaranteed one shot, maybe it has like a minimum of 5, but if your strength level's high enough, it just adds on top of it. So now it's like a guaranteed like 12 or something. I don't know. I think it's like a 5-man scale. Those melee small Nilocus is like an 11 or something. But if you could guarantee one shot all the minis and have a chance of one shotting the big Nilocus melee ones, and if not, you can guarantee just, you know, do a 2-shot against them. Like, I don't know. Like, is that fine? That'd be kind of cool. Those things would have high value because you'd have lower level slayers, like just people beginning and getting these drops and like actually being able to get like heavily rewarded because people at top would be using them, which is kind of interesting. So yeah, very cool. Okay. Again, I'm not saying that needs to be a thing. Obviously they want to hear your feedback as well. So also down in the description of this video, there will be this blog post and there is a survey at the end if you guys want to fill it out, help out Jagex. Okay. Mining. While 2023's changes to shooting stars have resulted in more mining levels than before, there are still a huge variety of training methods that players just aren't interested in. To set expectations, we're not overhauling mining in the style of RuneScape's mining and smithing rework, but we are looking to bolster a few activities, make them more approachable, and help players experience all the skill has to offer. We're not ruling out a wider rework down the line. We know that smithing progression is a particular point of interest, but for now, we want to try maximizing what we've got rather than deviating from the core concept of the skill. All right, Motherlode Mine. Lower floor veins to run on 23 to 27 second timers rather than having a chance to deplete. Great, so it's just across the board standardized. Upper floor veins to last longer at 36 to 40 second timers. Have coal provide XP when revealed by cleaning pay dirt, improving XP rates at lower levels without muscling out adamant and runite ore. Give the default sack an upper cap of 107 pay dirt. This avoids punishing players for not doing a full deposit at 80. And add a super hopper, unlockable for 50 golden nuggets, allowing players to deposit pay dirt from the upper level. Reduce the upper level unlock requirement to 57 mining. Excuse me. Adjust the Falador hard diary task to require one piece of prospector rather than the whole outfit. I did like a 3-hour Sebe cast earlier. My voice is just fucking shot. I truly apologize. And I've just been yelling and screaming at my monitor for, you know, this bit of the ramble so far. Improve obtaining golden nuggets so players don't feel like they have to hand in pay dirt 9 at a time. These changes make unlocks more impactful while making the activity more reliably low intensity. Additionally, increasing XP rates at lower levels mean the activity is more worthwhile for newer players and less like a chore to tick off your Falador hard diary. Okay, so I mentioned something in one of the rambles, you know, in this past year of talking about like what if nuggets had, not only is the store able to buy soft clay and, you know, those gem bags and whatnot and the pieces of armor, but what if it was also the simplest form of unlock where I don't know what the cost would be golden nuggets wise, but something like, hey, you redeem this unlock and now you have a 10% chance of receiving double pay dirt with the appropriate amount of XP alongside of it. So you're literally getting the 10% boost of XP. And that would come at, you know, a relatively high amount of nuggets. And that can have the chance of getting upgraded like 3 or 4 times. So eventually you're at Motherlode Mine having like a 40% chance of being able to get double pay dirt. So you're just zipping through this shit. And what's cool about it is that like if you are a player that likes Motherlode Mine, you are going to get rewarded for spending more time there, because if you want to spend your golden nuggets on these upgrades, you're going to just reap the rewards basically of it. So I like this sort of system. You guys can let me know down in the comments if you think this is appropriate or not. This is something where like, and this would go like across the board. This would be similar to blast mining. And they're going to talk about that in a second, so I'll just mention it right here. So blast mine, I was thinking, how cool would it be to also have some sort of reward shop there where you go talk to a person and now there's, a 20% speed up of excavation time. So, and that has, a 3 or 4 unlock thing as well, similar to Motherlode Mine, where, okay, now it's 20% faster. Now it's, 30% faster, 40% faster, 50% faster. So, or even faster than that, it could get up to 80% faster. So it's just, you are drastically reducing the time of excavating the walls, whatever they're called, excavation sites. So you're getting just increased XP. Now, it wouldn't just straight up be 80% more XP because this is just the excavation time. There's so much more going on in the minigame. But at least in that little instance, you are getting a speed up. So if you choose to do a lot of blast mining, the more you do it, the more you're going to reap the benefits of it long term, if that's the choice of content you enjoy the most. You see what I mean? So across the board, you'd have these little unlocks that can just make the activity feel like it's progressing. Because one of the downsides to these activities is they're just monotonous from day one and they don't get any better. Nothing is changing about it. You know what I mean? And so just to put into perspective, with a piece of content like raids, now again, skilling in PVM is not the same, but there is an element that makes PVM really fun, and that's gear progression. If you're doing raids with a trident initially and a whip, you're just suffering, and the more upgrades you get, now the place is kind of turning into your bitch. You're just owning it. You're just dominating it. You have these amazing weapons. There's a totally different discussion I'd love to have talking about equipment with skilling, having equipment actually be meaningful instead of just having a dragon pickaxe that does a fucking boost that means nothing beyond 99. It's just so stupid. Having potential, useful tools, but that's a separate discussion. Right now, what would be cool is if you just do the place enough, you are going to see the place become nicer and nicer and nicer. You're gonna become more advanced at the place just through these unlocks, and the place is just gonna feel better over time because you're redeeming these unlocks that are making it better. It's just you're getting more masterful at the content in in just a way that's just I don't know what the word is for it, but you know what I mean. So let me know what you guys think about a system like that, just across the board with these mining mini games. But yeah. Volcanic Mine. We're exploring ways to make solo play more viable by removing some of the guesswork, while ensuring that team and group play is still the most efficient way to earn points and XP. Add the Prospector outfit to Petrified Pete's shop. Remove the kudos requirement and the requirement to claim rewards from building up the Fossil Island camp. Yeah, that's totally great. That's totally fine, in my opinion. These changes give players more reason to engage with Volcanic Mine by presenting a faster way to get your hands on the Prospector's outfit. By improving the viability of solo play, we're also encouraging players to explore different roles at their own pace, with the end goal of finding a team and maximizing their gains. Blast Mine. Add more good layouts per world. This is so important, and I think they're starting to understand, because they're going to mention later with Sandstone and Granite, I believe, just having understanding what players really want. Every player just wants the most efficient route, and when there's only one, it's just you're just gonna hop worlds until you get one. So if they were to maneuver Blast Mine like they're presenting right here into a way where there's multiple places that are equally good, that's the important thing. Don't just make one the best and then the other ones are just several ticks slower. It's just literally plan it out so it's perfect. So it's just perfectly even. You just, no matter what spot you're at, maybe there's 3 or 4 spots, it's just, no matter what, they're guaranteed to be the same time, and it's just really easy to map out if you understand what Blast Mine is. So that would be really cool. I think that would be a cool thing to do. Marginally increase the XP offered by 10%. I didn't even read that, but you guys know what I mean. Let me just reread that again. Add more good layouts per world. This means more layouts similar to the common used 6 vein spot within a reasonable distance of a deposit. Yep. Marginally increase the XP offered by 10%. Again, this could just be done through a reward shop where, you get enough rewards, you unlock faster excavation times. And I just think that is just really cool. And I don't know, the excavation times also wouldn't affect the actual gameplay of it. It would just speed up that initial part where you're just sitting there looking at your guy, just fucking, I don't know, just standing there. Anyway, so this is fine and all, but again, if we wanted to go down the route of actually making it long term, you're feeling like the mini game's getting better and better and better the longer you do it. I think that's the way to go. But reduce the shop price of dynamite so that irons could feasibly engage with blast mine without having to build up a stock of dynamite from other content. Totally cool. Improve how run energy is handled during the activity. At present, it's not possible for us to allow run energy to regenerate while interacting with the veins, but we'd like to see if there are places we could give players a little bit of run energy back. Again, not that important, but that's fine. Like I don't know what the plan is, what their plan is really when it comes to like stamina pots and stuff. Like obviously there is a giant consensus where it's like everybody wants run energy to be like, agility being more meaningful, so you have a lot more run energy, and nobody really likes bringing around stams, but there's got to be some sort of reason for stams. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's cool to just add pools to everywhere and just like make it so everyone just has a limited run. Like, are we just going down that route where we have all limited run? Like, I don't know. I don't think it's the worst thing ever to, be able to just drink a stamina pot here and there. Blast Mine is chill, fun, and the massive XP drops offered when claiming ores make it a unique kind of satisfying. These changes are about making the activity more approachable, especially for irons looking to stock up on ores and players hoping for something more engaging than Motherlode Mine. Amethyst Mining Guild. Adjust amethyst veins to run on a timer rather than whenever a single amethyst is mined. Ooh, interesting. Rebalance mining gloves in turn. Okay, you know what the most annoying thing about this is that you're not going to be able to tick manipulate this anymore. So you can actually already get double amethyst per hour, and if they make this change, like even though it's just going to turn into like a motherlode mine, which vast majority of players completely are fine with that. Probably including myself, honestly, because like there's a lot of times I just want to chill out, and amethyst is a great place to chill. But yeah, you are going to be getting rid of that, which there's something to be said about that. Probably not much, but yeah. Rebalance mining gloves in terms of both price and passive effects so they're more desirable and have more utility across the skill. Yes, I really hope that these are used pretty much everywhere, including gem rocks. I think gem rocks is just such an important place. It could be really cool there. Gem mining. Unlock the gem mine with the Crum Job medium diary instead of the hard one. Improve messaging regarding the charged amulet of glory while gem mining. Perfect. Sandstone and granite quarry. Add more viable spots per world to reduce competition if players are looking to engage in common tick manipulation methods. That's amazing. That would be so cool, because again, just going back to being able to mine with the boys, like if there was like 3 spots for sandstone that are all like equally, at a different, just equally as many tiles away from the sand grinder. And you have 3 of them, and you have three of the boys, just mining together. Like, obviously, most of you are going to be tick manipulating, so there's not that much time to talk. But at least you could be mining, and it feels like you're not doing it completely alone. Like, I think that is so cool that they're offering these kind of things. Like, that's important. Same thing with granite. Granite's really cool because you don't even have to like have it close to the the grinder. You can just have it kind of anywhere. But it would be cool if they were all pretty close proximity where you can actually see fellow miners that are just doing the same activity, and it doesn't feel like you're so alone doing it. So I think it's cool. Regular mining. Improve clue geode rates across the board. Yes. I love that. Our changes to core mining don't overhaul the skill in any significant way. Instead, we're hoping to cement the AFK status of amethyst mining for high-level players, strengthen the utility of mining gloves, and making gem mining more approachable. So one of the things I am saddened about is just them not even mentioning just traditional rocks, just traditional rocks across the game being much faster respawning and much higher success rates. I think that is like a really important thing to eventually get, because right now just mining gold around the game is just so terrible. It's just the worst, and it takes so long to respawn, and sometimes you can literally be sitting there for like 40 seconds and you don't get any gold. It's just stupid. So I feel like that's a big change. It doesn't even need to be pulled. It's like, just fix that stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just, seriously, it'd be cool. Like that, again, I've mentioned it many times, but that gold horseshoe in Brimhaven, Like if that was a viable option to get high XP per hour and actually banking gold ore, like it's just great. But anyway, who knows? Maybe in the future they'll add something like that. Zalcano. Zalcano gets a section all to herself, and the biggest change we're proposing today. Right now, Zalcano is a potent moneymaker, but we see a lot of calls to make this high intensity. What are we talking about? Boss, a more viable training method. Our intent has always been to put profit over XP here, so we'd like to propose something new. We'd like to add a new currency to Zalcano's regular loot table, which players will be able to trade into an NPC. The unique loot table will not be affected. When handing over currency, you'll be able to choose whether you're paid back in XP or the same loot as you're getting currently. This neat solution lets players get more XP out of Zalcano if they want to, or keep it to be a consistent moneymaker that it currently is. We will still be capping XP rates somewhere in the 50,000 XP hour region to make sure there's still a good balance. We don't want Zalcano to become the one-stop mining shop. Lastly, we want to resolve scaling issues so that it's easier to jump into this activity without world hopping to find the perfect group size. This may mean making instances available, changing how Zalcano scales, or adjusting the way contribution works. Stay tuned. Okay. Zalcano is for a lot of players, including myself, is just miserable. Like the gameplay. Obviously a lot of players need to do it because they want to get their pet, they want to get the tool seeds, and they want to get loot and whatever. But the actual gameplay, honestly, is just pathetic. There is some things that are going right, but one of the things that is so beyond irritating is imbuing your Tephra and then sitting around for 45 fucking seconds waiting for the blue things to spawn. Like, goddamn, it's just it's so annoying. So annoying. So can we just make it so those blue things are just like way more common? When you're just walking, when you're literally watching Zalcano just trolling around, just fucking walking around the area, just just minding my own fucking business, and just gonna summon the stupidest shit to throw more boulders at the stuff. I'm not gonna summon these portals because you guys are just gonna have to fucking sit here and wait for me. It's so stupid. Fix that. Like, just make it so it's like literally just on a better cycle. It's so pathetic. Also, this is so important. I'm not kidding. This is so important what I'm about to say. Can we please stop forcing these caps? Why is it that Zalcano is capped at the 620 HP and the 240 HP margin, like forcing you to three-phase it? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. If you're in a mass, you should not throw one Tephra and then it's like, mine it, fucking throw one pickaxe swing at it. It's like, oh, okay, we phased, phase 2 time. It's just so stupid. Like, can we make it so you could one-phase Zalcano? Seriously. That needs to be a thing. If you have enough players, you should be able to one down Zalcano entirely every single time. Just, you have enough people to do it. Like, make Zalcano a static timer when it's down. So if you have enough players, it's literally it's like literally the boss is changing. Like, it's a different boss fight. If you're doing it in a solo, you can do it in a solo now, and you're getting heavily rewarded, and you're doing it in a mass, and you're getting, you're getting way more runs in. I just feel like that's, seriously, you need to make it so we don't need to 3 down that every fucking time. It's so obnoxious. It is so obnoxious. It's unbelievably obnoxious. Make it so we just chuck the things. Make it so the blues are being summoned way faster, and make it so if you have enough players, you can bypass that 620 cap and the 240 HP cap. Please, for the love of God, there must be a way to one down this thing with enough players. Like, it just has to be a thing. It's so stupid that you literally throw 2 pickaxe swings and you're just, next phase, run to the fucking block. Oh, it's gonna shoot something now. You boom. Okay, like, it's just you're not getting it. Like, the substance isn't there. You're just fucking running around the place like an ant, just literally running everywhere. It's just, can we just have a moment of the chillness with enough players where we can just mine this thing to death in one phase? Just fucking run through these things. Like, I'm sorry, that needs to be a thing. And if you're soloing it, you should get way more loot because you're deciding to solo it. You know what I mean? So if you're soloing it, the whole thing, like, that would honestly be like a much better way to go about it, is have it be really static, like Nex is static, where, if you duo Nex, you're getting significantly more loot. I think that's already kind of how it works as Zalcano, but like, it needs to be significant. So you can mass it with enough people. You're one downing it consistently. You do a solo. You probably have to do like a fucking 6 down because you're just not doing enough DPS every time. But you're getting much heavily rewarded loot-wise in a solo, but you're getting way more unique rolls in a mass. It's just some system like that. Sorry, it just Zalcano is just so painful to do. It's so fucking painful. Am I like off base there? Could somebody let me know in the comments? Like seriously, that place sucks. Gameplay sucks. Miscellaneous skilling improvements. Final list. You're on the home stretch. Improve the Dorgishkan. Okay, this is amazing. This is amazing. Okay, improve the Dorgishkan light orbs activity. Offer double cave goblin wire when thieving from cave goblins, Dorgishkan chest, or the wire machine near Dorgishkan's surface or furnace as a reward from the Lumbridge Elite Diary. Reduce fail rates for the wire machine for players with higher thieving levels. Make it so you never fail at 99, please. Please, 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 please. Grant 50% of the fire making XP as crafting XP when replacing light orbs. And grant bonus XP. Every 50 light orbs replaced instead of every 100. Add a counter to track how many light orbs you've replaced. This is amazing. This is literally so good. And I actually made a video of like literally exactly this. And I'm going to have it linked down in the description. So if you guys are interested, just click on that video, Dorgishkan light orb activity. Like it's just, this is so wonderful. Like it's just genuinely so wonderful to be heard. You know, it comes multiple years later, but it just feels good to have offered an idea that doesn't just get completely just, ignored until the end of time. Like that makes me so happy. So thank you, Jagex, for coming up with this thing that was an idea, and it's so well balanced, I think. And I think this is going to just offer something really fun to the place, and it's going to make a new crafting, potentially a new like early level crafting meta potentially. And I don't know, I just think this is fucking wonderful. So thank you to the whoever at Jagex listened to that video and decided to implement it. It's just wonderful. I have a big smile on my face. Thank you. Allow players to make Guthix rest in a single action. This assumes the player has all of the necessary items in their inventory and means you can no longer fail to make a Guthix rest by doing things in the wrong order. Beautiful. I've never made a Guthix rest in my life, so I'll probably do that. That sounds nice. Add the make all functionality to Barbarian Potions. Can Barbarian Potions also be 4-dose? I think people have offered that in the past. Like right now, Barbarian Potions are so useless. Even if they're 4-dose, they're useless because you're only healing 6 HP. And so it literally acts as a food. So you're actually stalling your attacks. You can't just like drink the potion and continue attacking. It would be really cool if Barbarian Potions literally were 4-dose. And, you actually like that's an extra, 24 HP heal as well. Obviously, it's gonna cost you ticks. It's just so cool. It sucks that they're only in like the 2-dose forms. So have Necklace of Faith provide 25% prayer points when triggered, up from 10%. Ooh, cool. Give Ring of Pursuit 100% chance to fully reveal Hunter tracks, up from 25%. Beautiful. Improve Eferite's Aid. With the ability to hurt all vampires with regular weapons for 50% reduced damage output, with a 15% buff to accuracy of vampire-specific weaponry like the Blisterwood Flail. Adjust requirement for creating the Toxic Blowpipe to 78 fletching instead of 53. Okay, there's a lot to chew on in this first blog. The connection was reset. Oh, shit. So, for dessert, might we suggest the survey? Guys, down in the description, this blog post will be down there as well as some other links. So be sure to just fill out the survey. We're keen to hear your thoughts on everything we've covered above. Fair warning, there are a lot of questions, so make yourself comfortable. Meanwhile, those of you interested in combat will want to keep an eye out for our next Project Rebalance blog, where we'll be taking aim at a variety of combat improvements. Until then, that's everything for this week's game update. We'd love to hear your feedback, so please let us know what you think via the 2007scape Reddit or the community-led OSR's Discord in the #GameUpdate channel. Okay, now we're going to cover these topics and questions from my tweet. I said in the beginning that I made a tweet earlier this morning. I'll be making a fat ramble on this later tonight. It has already been fat. It's been over an hour. Jesus. Leave a reply if you have any topics, questions you'd like me to include. So we got 23 comments, and I'm really excited to cover these. So let's see. I'm not even going to read the blog and just wait for you to cover it. You rock, dude. Flick, you're a fucking legend. Jagex Husky, looking for it. It's just legendary. Look at these legends in the comments. Furry Wall, do you think them buffing already popular content is just a lazy way instead of making new content or reworking dead content? No, absolutely not. Wait, what do you think? Or wait, what do you mean buffing already popular? What is I mean, they're buffing already popular content, but they're reworking dead content too. Like, so yeah, I mean, if it was exclusively popular content that's being buffed, I think that would be bad personally, but there's just so much that they're reworking in the dead content department. So yeah, I mean, to answer your question, I guess yes, but what they've proposed, so much of it is actually great changes in my personal opinion. And thoughts on them adjusting fail rates that aren't elves and Vyres. So again, I've kind of already talked about this significantly, but I just think seriously, like across the board, we should just find some way to make it so failing isn't a thing anymore. Failing is just the worst content known to man. It's just the worst game design ever. It's so painful. It's so painful. And if they were to just make it so at higher levels, you're just able to just constantly spam these NPCs without failing at all, similar to ham members, similar to Artie Knights, just these things that you just be endlessly spammed. I just think that's a much better way to go about it. And what, they could even do something where like there's no such thing as stun anymore. So again, like they'd have to appropriately reduce the XP drops, obviously, to make it so the hours are respectable and just balanced across the board. But they could make it so you could still get hurt. Like the NPC would still like damage you. So you still get hit a 5 here and there, here and there, here and there. But you're not getting stunned. You can just keep pickpocketing, but food is still going to be the way to heal, or redemptioning is still going to be the way to redemption. So you're still getting damaged repeatedly at lower levels, and the higher level you go, the success rate's actually higher, but the stunning is removed entirely. So that would be another way to go about it, in my opinion. I think that would be fine. It would also be, so that's personally just what I think. There's a lot to talk about on that, but yeah, I am butthurt that they're not going to be touching elves and Vyres right now. So, but there's just so much more to be discussed on that topic. So, please mention the much overdue smithing rework that needs to take place sometime this millennia. So I don't know what people mean by smithing rework. Is everyone just wanting like Runite to be like level 40? I've heard that before. Like, I just feel like that's not, this is my own opinion. I would love to hear somebody like really create a framework that like literally makes sense and it's not going to just fucking break the game. But honestly, I'm actually kind of okay with where smithing is right now. Obviously there's changes that can be made and stuff. I think Blast Furnace, first of all, Blast Furnace, I am one of those psychopaths that actually really enjoys the place, but I fully understand why people don't enjoy it. And that's because you're not level 99 yet. As soon as you get to level 99 smithing and you understand how Blast Furnace works, it becomes it's pleasant. Like, it has a good flow to it. And you're not, your max cape is acting as goldsmith gauntlets. So you're just permanently camping these ice gloves. You're just chilling out. Your coal bag's larger. I think, and I've made these suggestions before, the coal bag should be 36 from the get-go. Like, it's straight up. Like, when you get the coal bag before level 99, it should be 36. And it should hold up to 54 when you're level 99. You should be able to load up coal into that bag, I think. I think that'd be great. Because as soon as that coal bag has that 36, that means everybody lower than 99 smithing gets the benefit of having that nice flow where you're depositing one full inventory and then a half inventory of coal into the coffer or into the blast furnace, and then running, and you have that perfect tick cycle where you run and you just one tick the dispenser and run to the bank. It's just, so many people don't ever get to enjoy that because they get to level 99 and then never smith again. They thought it was the fucking worst thing ever. I'm one of the people that has smith beyond 99, and it's so much more fun than before 99. So just across the board, that needs to be a thing. I also think glove switching is just, it's horrible. It's horrible. I understand that it's cool to have a perk that just makes it so you don't need a glove switch anymore after 99. But seriously, like the blast furnace is so much more enjoyable after 99. It's just stupid. It's like, just let everyone have that. Like, just why does it have to be a significantly more miserable experience before 99? Like, just come on. Everyone hates Blast Furnace already because they never get to enjoy it, because 99 and beyond is when it's enjoyable. So just let everyone enjoy it from the get-go. Anyway, just going on way too many rambles. Haven't seen many people talk about this Bug Basher weapon being proposed, and the fact that they specifically said it'll work on Nilocus. Any thoughts on it? So one of the cool things about it is, like, I'm already thinking as well, like, people that are very low level killing Sarachnis, this would be a way to kill Sarachnis spiders, like, well, I guess not instantaneously because they have like 30 fucking HP. But if the Sarachnis spiders were lower HP, if they made some sort of change there, it would almost feel like the rat, Scurious boss, where you're just being able to kill the minions way faster, 3-ticking them, just boom, 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 boom. Obviously, they wouldn't be 1-ticked, but, yeah, I don't know. I think like what I said earlier in the Ramble, where Nilocus, you can guarantee kill the small ones in one shot every 3-tick. I think that's kind of cool. It's a cool, thing to have. And it would make it so those low-level slayers that are getting these drops are actually getting a big profit chunk, because the higher level tobbers would be buying these things. So who knows? I think what's important though is, I think they were saying that they have 1,000 charges. You should be able to combine as many as you want, so it's just a thing where you can hold up to like 20,000 or even like up to like 100,000 charges. So you don't have to deal with like, oh shit, the thing ran out of 1,000. Like, well, I'm in the mid top right now, so now I don't have a 3-tick weapon. Like, it ran out. Like, let us be able to charge it beyond 1,000. I think whenever there's anything charged, it needs to be the least inconvenient charging system possible. So just be able to buy like 20 of them. Now you have one that's charged with 20,000 charges or even higher. I'm always up for the 100,000 charges personally. So again, I am not in that top scene. So there's probably some toppers that are like, no, fuck, this is stupid. This is the worst idea ever. So listen to them more than me. I'm just saying, like, it would be interesting, and it would be a moneymaker for lower level slayers. Sounds weird to say slayers, like Slayer players. You know what I mean? Hi, Sybin. Okay, after reading the blog post, I'm looking forward to this update. Marks everywhere is a good. Yep, completely agree. Will resources from stalls be worth? That is so important. That stalls will remain dead content unless they're spammable. Like, I feel like it's so necessary for them to be spammable. That's just so much cooler. It is. Do you guys remember whenever you make a new account, whenever you were a noob, you would thieve the cake stalls, and it's just great. You don't have to hop worlds. You don't have to do some bullshit shenanigans. You just sit there with the boys. You're all thieving cakes together. Like, this is fucking awesome. Make it so all stalls are like that. Just really fast respawn. I would even say faster than that. Just make it so you just spam them even faster. Maybe that could be the default speed. There's not that big of a discrepancy. Just make it so it's not worth hopping. Make it so you just stay on one world. You're thieving these things with the boys. You lure the knights away, lure the guard dogs away into a fucking building. That's cool. Let's just repeatedly thieve these things and get low amounts of thieving XP and getting high resources of the resources you actually want. I think that's great. And make it so it's generous too. Like, seriously, it's 2024. It's okay to have generous thieving things. Have you seen the rogues chests out there? Like, it's pretty damn generous. And it's okay to have non-wieldy things be generous too. It's fun. It would be cool to actually be rewarded with skilling. God damn it. You kill like one boss nowadays, you just shit out like 100 battle staves. Notice, like, can we not? Is it the end of the world for us to be able to be highly rewarded with basic skilling? I just think that's so important nowadays. The bots are going to bot every goddamn thing. So if botting is the excuse, like, no, bots will just be there repeatedly. Dude, bots are literally botting Tob. They're botting everything. It's just the bots are out of control. That's a separate discussion. We shouldn't be ruining updates and making them just the worst thing ever because bots are, it's just, we have to ignore bots. We have to just ignore them. We have to ignore the impact and just let updates be fun. If Jagex wants to do something about the bots, they can do something about the bots, but we shouldn't be gatekeeping certain skilling activities because bots will do it, in my opinion. Brimhaven update, awesome. Yep, agree. Mining, quality of life is overdue, great. Agility shortcuts, yep, love it. Vanica, Slayer, mob removal is underrated. Yeah, it's nice. Seems like it. Why is buffing agility rates a bad thing? Skill is negative fun. Well, it's negative fun because it's not rewarding. Like, if anybody ever does Sepulchre, they'll realize how fun agility is. In fact, people forget they're even training agility. Sepulcher is the most amazing update ever because it's like skilling, but you don't even feel like you're skilling. Like, seriously, people go there and they're like, oh my God, like I just completely forgot I just leveled up. I forgot I was even training. I was just getting clue scrolls, getting loot, getting rings of endurance. Like, this is fucking amazing. Just having a great time. So, yeah, I mean, basic agility is just horrible. It's really bad. You know, I wouldn't even be against, you know, just agility shortcuts in general being made a little bit more like smooth, like, making it so the actual obstacles you're crossing don't have as long of a cutscene. You know what I mean? Like, this is a separate discussion. I'm not going to go into it right now, but just making it feel like, if you guys have ever done Penguin agility course, there's like a place where you like one tick the obstacles, and it's just kind of fun. Like, it's not, once you get it down, it's really enjoyable. Like, you kind of have like an animation stall, so it takes a little bit of practice to get down. But those one tick sort of like obstacles and maneuvers make the course feel so much better. And there's a lot of animation delaying in it, so it feels like your guys just zipping ahead. With basic agility courses, one of the most egregious things about it, honestly, and this is something that people probably don't notice because I've mentioned it about the POH. Like the POH, when you're running over to like the fucking mounted pendant on the wall, and it takes a full tick to stand there, and then the menu finally opens. It's just like, I love it when things are more rapid. And one of the cool things that would be awesome for, you know, rooftop agility is like when you've like, I'm just thinking of like RD course, like when you cross that first building to the second building, you're sitting there for a full tick because your guy can't move. He's just like, okay, he's landed. Now you're just kind of sitting around for a tick, and now you can move. It's almost like every obstacle, it's like you need to view the entire process of your guy animating across the building and stand there for one tick, and now you can move again. Like, it's just so sluggish. Like, I feel like it's hard to realize how sluggish it is because we rarely have examples of you just being able to zip through to the next obstacle and have that animation delay just slowly catch up. It's just, I don't know, just make things zippier, make it zippier, just make zip, 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 you know, that's what I want. So, yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to buff agility rates. I think they've done it in an inappropriate way. In an appropriate way. An appropriate way. I'm not saying inappropriate. An appropriate. Most of this is focused on low med level experience and giving it more consistent progression. Is there still room for progression at high levels, or does that require new content? Also, side note, do you have a Ramble on God alignments? I haven't made a Ramble on God alignments yet, mainly because it's just, there's so much backlash and like I didn't really know exactly what these prayers would do. So what I wanted to actually do, and I might do this soon, honestly, is get like some higher level PVMers, maybe like fucking ask No Monkey and Adicon to come on, and we can talk about the alignment prayers. I think they'll probably make like an updated version of it or something, and at that point it'll be more relevant to talk about. But looks like right now most people are just against it entirely. So yeah, so yeah, there still is room for better progression at high levels with the older content we have. Wish they'd add Amylase to Sepulcher. I agree. That was actually voted no to. So, you know, we had our say. I'm pretty sure it was voted no to. So if they were to repull it, though, that'd be great. It would just be cool to be able to get Amylase just from any sort of activity. And even if it was just trading in your hallowed marks for Amylase, like that's just a great way to go about it, in my opinion. So it'd be kind of cool. Or if you could you know, make it so you could dismantle your rings of endurance for a massive load of Amylase, like something cool like that. That'd be kind of cool. Wiggy, smaller fan. That's all I'll say. Why do you think so many people are losing their minds over what seems to me like minor changes to XP rates and level requirements? I don't know. I did see some people kind of having like little freakouts and stuff, but that happens all the time. So I don't think it was really warranted at all. What are your thoughts on adding more agility shortcuts to improve some tedious clue scroll steps? Yes, I'm fully on board. Every single clue step that's obnoxious, that takes way too long. The same thing with agility pyramid. You should be able to scale the agility pyramid with like some sort of rope or something, like underground tunnel that gets you right up to the top, so you can just do the clue. But you know, you could do the clue instantaneously with a high enough agility. Maybe it's just like 95 agility. You just scale that thing instantaneously. You won't get the XP drop, And not like it fucking matters if you get the pyramid. That's just the worst money maker of all time. So even if you could repeatedly go up and down, up and down, up and down, that still just wouldn't be worth your time. So, but yeah, make it so you just can't loot the pyramid. Like that would be enough, and just make it so you can scale that thing instantaneously. Like something like that would actually be just so much better. Just having to literally scale the full agility pyramid during a clue step is so stupid. It's so stupid. It's the worst. It's just so bad. It should not be that way. So make it so there's a high agility level to just skip it entirely. Yeah, every clue tier has potential steps, but for example, hot, cold, drainer, cowpen, Crandor Island. Yeah, Crandor Island teleport would be nice too. I think sailing will probably give us some sort of teleport there instantaneously, hopefully. Yeah. So, can you talk about Hallowed Sepulchre instances? This batch of skilling updates seem like a good opportunity to push Jagex to finally add them. Yeah, I'm totally okay with Sepulchre instances. It makes the place feel more fluid. So if you've learned how to do Sepulchre, assuming that you're the only one on the floor, it just sucks when somebody else is on the floor and it just kind of ruins it for you. Personally, I've never had that big of a problem. It's kind of annoying occasionally, but it's just like, okay, just you'll get better at Sepulchre by understanding like where you are in a certain cycle because it didn't start off, with you. But I think Hallowed Sepulchre instances is totally appropriate. What I would also love, this doesn't necessarily need to come from Sepulchre. It could come from a separate sort of, Sepulchre-ish thing. I've obviously mentioned many times in previous rambles of like the Cave of Wonders thing where you're running down and it's just an entirely new Sepulchre-based thing, which is super high skill ceiling of, being able to dodge these things, get to the end of the thing and be able to escape in time. It would be really cool to have like sort of races, just like being able to race one another in these kind of things. And so maybe Hallowed Sepulchre is not the way to do it. I thought it would be cool maybe to have like a friend mode doing it. So how like similar to instance necks where you just are in the same friends chat and you enter it all at the same time. What if there was like a friend that most people wouldn't do this? I would love to do it. I think it'd be a lot of fun personally, especially if you get like a default layout that's actually like an efficient layout or something where you enter with your friends and you all start at the same time when we see who's the best at Sepulchre. So you're all running it and like you watch your friends make a mistake and they fall behind. And like that would be kind of fun to do. I don't know how you'd balance that appropriately, but it would be really cool just to be able to race one another. Or, if they wanted to, they could even just add a ghost. Like a ghost. So you record your own play, like the game records your player at its best run, and you see your ghost version running. Now, of course, there would be some problems with that because obviously, like blues and yellows are not static, and a lot of things that probably wouldn't be as static, just floor layouts in general. But yeah, no, I think just on that point, Sepulchre instances, I'm not against it. Can't wait for this one. Thank you. Why is lower level training relevant to you and your goals? They're not relevant to my goals, but it's relevant to me because I just want the game to feel like there's not just like 90% dead content shit and there's just like a meta that just heavily dominates everything. It's so much more fun playing this game knowing there are a variety of paths. I mean, there's always going to be like the meta technically, but it's so cool to have balanced content at every level, like early game, mid game, it's just all this stuff. So much more variety that feels like you can take alternate paths and not feel like you're completely wasting your time trolling. That's why it's relevant to me. I just think that's cool. I disagree on removing Earth Warriors, Green Dragon tasks, as they serve as introductions to Wilderness while being only slightly risky. Rather use them as a tool to teach boost Earth Warrior drops and add a mini damn gorilla-esque boss to teach switching. This makes more people think Wildy equals bad. Wildy is bad. You should discuss the fact that they presumably never plan to fix, adjust standard. I'm kidding, by the way, but yeah, that's I don't consider these things with early level Slayer, so maybe that's appropriate. Sorry for just completely trolling that. You should discuss the fact that they presumably never plan to fix, adjust standard mining for ores and how slow bad it is compared to almost every other method in terms of XP and actually obtaining ores. The latter part can be said for almost all gathering skills. Yeah, I discussed that toward the end. And I do think that needs to be just a change across the board. Like default ores across the game, rocks across the game need to be drastically improved in success rate, and their respawn timers need to be drastically made faster. While I support MLM, I do think there's a noticeable mining method that was left out and considered dead content: coal trucks. Do you think they should have removed the requirement restrictions or even an invisible mining boost? Love the rambles. Yeah, coal trucks is a separate discussion entirely, where personally, I think coal trucks has this, like, I'm gonna just briefly mention the idea. It's kind of like an idea similar to like skulls and TOA, where you can one tick them, or something like the pyramid, or sorry, not pyramid, like the penguin agility course, where you can one tick the traps. Imagine coal trucks has, instead of normal coal rocks, there's like soft coal or charcoal or whatever it is. They're able to be one ticked. So like imagine you have this route that's really nice, where you're just running around the place, one ticking these coal rocks similar to TOA skulls, making this nice little circular pattern, and then dumping it into the, like the coal trucks, and it gets sent to your bank and stuff. Something where like you want a bunch of coal per hour. This is going to be the most generous, the most fast way to do it, and generous mining XP. And it's just like a completely different way of mining, where now you're one ticking these things. And I don't know, it's just something I could obviously have a more defined ramble on that, talking about it and kind of giving like visual examples. But yeah, I think coal trucks has a lot of potential in the future, but it can't just be basic coal mining. We were sitting there for 15 seconds mining one piece of coal. It's just so stupid. It needs to be updated. Remove black masks 10 defense requirement. The Slayer helm can keep its defense requirement. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's appropriate or not. So anybody else in the comments could, obviously talk about that. Thoughts on the XP reduction on Seer's course? I think it's appropriate. Again, like Mod Husky pointed out his reasonings, and I'm not pulling up the Reddit post right now, but his reasonings really were to make it feel like every time you get to a new threshold of agility level, you're getting highly rewarded. And in the grand scheme of things, that is being updated. Plus, that Wildy agility course is being added, and that is, I'm assuming, going to be even better than Seer's. So there's obviously another option to go down, but like ultimately, in the grand scheme of things, you are getting heavily rewarded or you're getting more, not heavily, getting more rewarded over time because of these changes that they're making. So I think it's completely fair, and it's making it so you're going to move on from Seer's course. So anyway, that is all I'll be talking about. This is the really, really beefy ramble. It's the longest one I've had maybe ever. This is really long. So drop a like if you enjoyed it, and be sure to subscribe if you want to catch more rambles. I greatly appreciate you guys sticking around, listening to this. Let me know your thoughts on all of these things. Let me know where I, was yelling unreasonably, and you can, say why you disagree with why I was yelling. Anyway, I am passionate about this game. I'm really excited that Jagex and the team is just making conscious efforts to make the game feel more, I guess, filled with life. I love it when old content that just hasn't seen sunlight in forever is actually getting a little bit of use. So I think it's beautiful. I love what they're doing. This is the stuff that makes me so happy to see. I love it. And down in the description, guys, there's going to be some links down there. Also, follow the Rambles on Spotify. That would greatly support me as well if you want to give it a 5-star rating or a 1-star rating. But, you got to listen to it for a little bit to get the rating, but I'd appreciate that. And if you want to support my content, down in the description as well, there's a Patreon link or a YouTube membership link where you can support for as little as $2 a month, and it greatly helps me as a creator. Thank you all, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.